Morning, everybody. Welcome to LockPod Season 11, Episode 19. This is the Midwest's most dangerous podcast. We're coming to you live from NECA IBEW Powering Indiana Lake County Studio. Hey, Matt. What's up?
Hey, Mayor. How are you?
Welcome back. Matt Reardon is my co-host today. Kevin Smith is
mysteriously gone today.
Suspicious.
Yeah. Lindsay's back. Look at that.
Hey, Lindsay.
I'm here every Tuesday.
Yeah, it's true. What's up, Jay Vaz?
Morning. Good to have Matt back. It's been a long time since you've been on the show.
I know. We gave him he had to take one day off for every F word he said in the last episode.
So it's been, what now, season 25, episode 14.
It's good to see you, man.
The Dark Pod.
And by the way, thanks for sponsoring also. We appreciate that.
Sure, man.
We couldn't be on without it.
A lot of people actually listen to you.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Actually?
I don't know why.
Actually. That's how Kevin says that each time.
Yeah.
Actually, that was really smart, Tom. I'm like, I don't think that's a compliment, dickhead. He's like, I'm going to stop saying actually. Yeah. He does
actually?
That's one of his.
Certainly.
That's one of Kevin's bad habits. He would admit it, too.
Actually?
You're like, yeah, Kevin, you ever think of this? He's like, actually, that's a great idea, Tom. I'm
it's like, seriously.
Yeah, right.
Seriously, man. Seriously.
What's up, Linz? How you doing, babe?
I'm tired.
Hey, babe. How you doing, babe?
Lindsay, what's
Do
going
not
on?
call me babe.
That's my daughter,
I swear to
dickhead.
God.
I'm aware.
Hey, Lindsay,
You can say
Just
babe
the way
to my
you
daughter.
said it.
What's up?
Funny.
She knows
Lindsay, what's
up.
going on in the medical profession these days?
People
Measles.
are gross.
Yeah,
Measles is a thing.
People are gross. That's the
there's
T-shirt.
a vaccine for measles, so
I don't believe in vaccines.
I don't either.
Okay, we're gonna fight.
I just shoot
Put up your
a
Dukes,
Zempic.
Dad. Let's go.
Listen,
I shoot a Zempic into my stomach
right.
because that's been tested properly.
I'm sure it
Oh
works
my
fine.
Right. But I don't like
Nothing's
these vaccines. You know?
Nothing bad's gonna happen.
But
Yeah.
no, I'm constantly shocked when I go into work that like how disgusting human beings are just in general. My whole job is to offer showers and like help people get cleaned up and stuff, and they're like, "No, not today."
Really?
Every day,
That
everyone
sounds nice.
stinks.
That's why you make the
and-
big bucks.
Yeah.
Check.
So
I have 3 of my sisters are nurses,
yeah.
so they know all that stuff.
Yeah.
It's kind of gross, but
I'm proud of her.
it's
Lindsay,
a big deal. I mean,
Matt, she went Lindsay got her degree in education, became a teacher, got certified, and then she was like,
hey, wait a minute. What's
Peace
this? I
out.
don't get
They
paid
wait?
money.
They don't like teachers in this state. Like,
they-
why am I here?
You get paid
yeah.
in those little cutouts you put up in the room, and then what else?
I got
You
paid
like the
in
colored paper?
vouchers. Yeah, like,
Yeah. They give you like the blue and the
they're
brown
like, here's
paper.
a free meal certificate for McDonald's.
Right.
You
So,
get all you want in the cafeteria: colored paper
yeah.
and a bindle of semi-used pencils
Yeah.
Plus,
with no erasers.
Unlimited supply of graham crackers, which you
Exactly.
can't. Yeah.
Tissue.
I wasn't in elementary school, so no graham crackers for us.
But
so.
she bailed, and then she rebooted.
I did love teaching so much, but yeah, rebooting, that's been a process.
Bail and reboot. Like,
That's all right. You
Yeah.
gotta like that.
Yeah.
I mean, she went from the arts to the sciences. And let me tell you something. Lindsay, when she was young, she did not like the sciences. And now she's like an A student in nursing school. She's just like kicking
I'm a
butt.
woman in STEM, y'all.
Yeah. She's like, it's
That's a big
crazy.
deal.
Like, Lindsay's like a nursing student that teaches other nursing students the stuff they're supposed to be learning.
I'm a
It's,
tutor.
Nice.
yeah.
Really?
Yeah. So, like, it's pretty cool to see.
Hey,
But-
Tom,
Yes, sir.
how are you feeling? Like, are you feeling better?
What with
Matt.
on the Ozempic?
Lindsay.
No.
The Ozempic, yeah, the Ozempic brings out rage. Did you know that?
One
I'm
of the
not on
last-
Ozempic for the record. Like, everybody's going to be saying,
Yeah.
Oh,
But
okay.
One
Okay.
of the last times I saw you, you were
I went.
not too happy.
I was Lindsay. Like, I went into one of my rare, like, fucking lose my mind episodes at City Hall the other
I'm
day.
glad nobody thought to contact me.
Yeah.
I did not want. I don't know. I don't want to be in any
It comes out every once in a
vicinity
while.
of that mood at all.
Matt, like, okay, so it was
What
raining.
happened?
There's
Okay,
a rumor
so
going
it-
around
So
A
it's
rumor?
that
so
someone
it's-
parked in your spot.
The
So-
fucking rumor is not a rumor. So, like, City Hall, rainy day, okay, and like nobody wants to park in the rain.
First of all, let's get something straight. You don't really have to walk that far to park at Hammond City Hall.
no, right?
It's
Even
not
the
like
worst spot
blocks.
is right. It's like 30 yards. The worst spot.
Really? It's
Right.
30 yards at best.
So I pull in the other day, pouring rain, and the middle spot's taken, which is usually it's a flex spot. People park in that. Sometimes Phil parks in there when it's raining. So Phil parks there. The normal duty spot's there. My spot, it's got a truck in it, big truck, just blocking me out.
Right.
And I'm like, what the
Whose truck?
right? Who's okay? So I'm like, this has got to be just like a temporary thing. Who would park in the mayor's spot at City Hall, right?
Right.
And I'm sitting there looking around. I'm
And
like,
there is
hey,
a very clear sign that says parking only or mayor.
More than one.
3 of them. It says mayor spot, do not park here. You're gonna get towed here. 3 signs. It's very clear, right?
Yes.
So I'm like, and I'm, everybody's like, I don't know whose truck that is,
Mayor, I don't know.
It's been here for like 2 hours. And I'm like, what the? And I'm like losing my mind. I'm like, well, where is it? And they're like, I think the guy's working on the second floor, which is where I work. So I go up there and I go into the council chamber and there's a gentleman in there working. And I'm like, is that your truck down there? He's like, oh, why? You want me to move it? And I'm like, you're in the fucking mayor's parking spot. Like, yes, I want you to move it. It's fucking raining. And he's like, well, I'm up here working. I'm sorry.
Sorry,
and
man.
I fucking lost my mind when he said that. I'm like, what do you fucking think I'm doing? You gotta be shitting me. And
Like cuss words and all?
Dude, you're just, what are you doing?
I lost my mind, John. I think I called him a fucking dumb shit or something like that. Like, it was not nice.
Is he a Hammond resident?
I'm sure.
Oh, no.
But, like, do you go to, like, if I pull into NIPSCO and it's raining, I'm in NIPSCO, I'm like, God damn, it's raining. I'm going to get wet. I'm going to park in this guy's... That CEO spot? Yeah, I mean, that's the one.
If you're going to do that, just roll up on the handicap parking spot.
Right?
Just hit your flashers, take your shit in.
Right? That would
truck.
be way more acceptable.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, you want to park in your spot, Mayor? My bad.
Sorry, dude. I didn't know.
So
I don't know. The 3 fucking signs might have been an indicator.
Yeah. So I'm like, I'm in the council chamber. So I'm like, the fucking council hired this guy. So I walk into the council chamber office and the assistant in there is a friend of mine, and I know her family. She's like, I'm like, whose fucking person is this? Like, parking in my spot? Who hired this guy? And the guy could hear everything, right? And she's like, Mayor, I have no idea who he is. Please, like, stop yelling at me. And I wasn't yelling, but I was just like,
at that point in
on
time,
fire.
you're like, come on.
So I found out that
We found out.
It was
guess who
IT.
hired it? It was freaking Vesmar.
Fucking John.
Vesmar hired this guy.
So John's buddy rolls up there,
Dude,
parks, throws it
I
in
felt
park.
so bad.
He's got business to do.
This guy
Do
literally
you
like
know
ran
this
up.
person, like, personally? Like, he's a buddy of yours?
He's like an audio video installer. Yeah.
Audio video.
Yeah,
installer.
and so the council
so
chamber's
he's
undergone a big upgrade.
Yeah.
with, audio video. He's
But
done
that
a great
doesn't
job.
mean like the parking rules go out the window at City Hall. Like, yeah.
That's
Oh,
big
you're
time.
working on the council chambers? Screw
Go
it. Park in
ahead.
the mayor's spot. Like, have fun.
That's ridiculous. Come on, John.
So I get a call.
Tell your guys to do better.
So I get a call.
It's okay. I've
Was I
gotten
still
that
hot?
call before.
Was I still hot when I called you?
A little bit. Yeah.
I was probably winding down.
hurt
When I heard
his
Vesmar's,
feelings.
when I heard Vesmar was involved, I like got a little bit softer
You're like, okay.
because I like John.
So I almost had to play a little bit of mediator, right?
Uh-huh.
Like, hey, maybe he didn't want to get some sensitive electrical equipment wet or something and forgot to move. I'm just trying to think about both sides here. But he felt really bad. And he moved.
I don't think he'll ever park
And
there
then he
again.
never came back.
He hasn't been seen since. I don't know.
I'm trying to.
I felt bad.
I'm trying to figure out. Like at that point in time, would have been classic if you said, "I'm working up here." I would have said, "You know what? Not anymore. You're not. Get out.
I know. I was thinking
Beat
about
it."
What I did do to be a dick, because I was in that mood, is I parked like
Behind him?
1 centimeter in front of him. I like blocked him in. And I was still in the rain, so I had to get up. But like he had no maneuverability.
Where was Talon with the umbrella?
Well, Talon's car was in the middle.
He doesn't run out and get an umbrella.
So this
for
is
you?
Talon's fault.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Phil should have been there with the umbrella.
Something
That's all I'm
should have.
saying. I mean, he's the chief of staff.
But anyway, so they were like, okay, Mayor, he's ready to leave now. Could you move your car?
No,
I'm like,
I'm working.
fuck no. I'm not moving my car. This guy.
I'll
so
be
he had
down
to
there in
like
a
crawl
bit.
out, like ding, 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 do one of those like Sawyer backward.
Chicago, get out of the parking spot.
Yeah,
Bam.
he had to do one of those. He had to do one of those to get out.
Nice.
That was me. Welcome to City Hall. That was my welcome to City Hall, young man.
I can't believe that. Like I said, it's not that far, but Hoosiers don't like to walk. So
But like,
been like, what? I gotta wait.
it's respect, man.
It's a
like,
quarter mile
seriously?
from the door. I can't do that.
It's
It's
and that's
impossible.
another thing, like you pointed out. It's literally like 100 feet from the
Yeah, the
furthest
parking
parking
lot
spot.
is not
Like
that
really,
bad.
Right?
Like I don't
It's
know.
the easiest parking spot in the world.
Even if you had to park on the street.
I know.
Okay.
It's like seriously, man. I don't know. So anyway, I apologize, John.
And for
It's
further
all good.
tips,
It's
Could you
all
tell-
water under the bridge.
Could you tell that young man he's welcome back to City Hall anytime?
Absolutely.
And
clear the air.
I actually, it was one of those
that.
where I went through regret for like 10 minutes after it happened. I'm like, oh,
Oh.
shit.
Shouldn't have
I
done
freaking snapped on that.
That was
dude.
dumb.
Like, but it was dumb. Like, honestly, though. Okay, so maybe I overreacted, okay? But you park in the mayor's parking spot and you leave your car there for a prolonged period of time.
For
like,
sure.
how
And
dumb,
when I
right?
came in, I saw his truck there, and I even texted him. I said, "Hey, if you're like unloading something, fine, but you got to move your truck.
Because the mayor will lose his shit.
If and when the mayor shows up, you just move your truck.
And there's a good chance he might.
I don't think he saw my text.
Oh, yeah?
I don't think he saw my text in time.
Well, you shouldn't have to get texted. Like, you're parking in the mayor's parking spot at City Hall on a work day.
Yeah.
Like, even on a Saturday, I go to work every day.
Now, there's a handful of cities that you could probably park in the mayor's spot because they won't show up.
That's
but
true.
Hammond's not one of them.
This was a Friday, too, wasn't it, John?
Yeah.
It was after the show.
Yeah.
I went in after the show. That probably threw him off.
Probably like, what are you doing here?
So, hey, man, how's everything with you, bud?
Well,
What you been doing?
Working a lot, but you know how it goes. You got to take a break every now and again. So we usually have I have a good fortune of being able to go to Puerto Rico a lot.
Yeah.
And, my wife has family down there, so usually we go down there, and I love it because there's a lot of shit to do. You can go to one end of the island to the other. There's golf. You can hike. You can go to the rainforest and do all this crazy shit. So this year she goes, let's go to Mexico. So I'm thinking like, all right, like Mexico by the coast.
Puerto Vallarta.
Right. I'm like, all right, this will be great. I'll just be relaxing. So no. We go to what I term Mexico, which is in the middle of Mexico, Guanajuato, where Mara's
Guanajuato,
family.
I've never heard of it.
Yeah, it's a big city. It's like a Kansas
Guanajuato,
City,
is that
Kansas.
something small? It's like small Juan?
No, dude. It's
It's
for
Juan.
us,
It's like little Juan.
Juanito.
Juanito.
for
little Juan.
us white people, Juado is the phonetic pronunciation of it.
Okay.
But anyway, so she talks me into this, and I'm like, all right, let's go. And so I'm taking the kids are going with me, and they're not kids anymore. They're freeloaders at this point. They're like 25 and 24 and 25. So we go, and I'm like, you get news about what's going on in Mexico, and
Because you're in like real Mexico. You're not in Cancun.
No.
Yeah.
This is like where people live,
Right.
like their house.
So there's like cartel action, I imagine. It's possible.
Could be, I don't know anything. I don't know enough about it, but it's a big city. There's like 600 and some thousand, but it's also an old city. It was
You know what you should do? Walk around acting like an American big shot.
That's usually does really. It's nice.
I
when they
know.
do that.
I'm American.
I'm an American here. Well, they can tell that by my white ass skin walking around. So we go there, and it's an old city. It was a silver town until the silver ran out. So they have all this crazy shit and these tunnels under the city and all this. But what I found was, so we're getting there, and we have a guy who's going to be our guide / driver, and he's trying to find this Airbnb. So, people, you get, I don't know if lock potters or whatever have tried to do an Airbnb. If you haven't,
never done it.
If you haven't,
What? Wait. You've
What?
never done an Airbnb?
Not once.
Wow.
Probably
Yeah.
for the best.
Yeah, I'm a
Why?
hotel
Why do
guy.
you say that?
I'm a hotel guy.
Airbnbs are great.
So I found that hotels are great. They have their pluses and minuses, but if you're going with a bunch of people and you're paying for it, you should get an Airbnb.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
I get that.
So
You're
it's
right.
far
If you had
cheaper.
all your kids
So you get online, and my wife's doing this, and she finds this place, and I'm like, all right. So I'm looking on Google Earth, and I'm like, all right. So you know how the Google Earth, if it'll spin around, and you can kind of see where it's at. So I do that, and I see this big, like a red wall, and then some shady hotel next to this thing, and two dudes out in front. One guy's on crutches, and the other guy's sitting on a bucket having a butt. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? So I'm freaked out now. I'm like, where are we going? Like, I have no idea. I'm like,
And it's not on the coast.
not even. There's zero water anywhere. Like zero. It's like the desert, but
It's
not.
like visiting Kansas or something.
Right. It's like go to the middle of the United States, and inside there's a cool city, which is kind of what it was. So we're driving around. The guy ends up finding it, takes us past the red wall. I'm like, okay, that's good. And he has to keep going up the mountain anyway. So we get up on top of this mountain, and it overlooks the city, and it's got this giant gate. It looks like Game of Thrones to get in, with a really long, weird key, not like a regular key.
Wow.
Like, so you unlock this gate, and I open this thing up, and it's got some gigantic house with 3 balconies and like a side villa for the mother-in-law.
Wow.
And it was phenomenal.
That's
I was
great.
like, fantastic. So I was like freaked out about, I don't know, because like I said, you read all the shit and you see it, and you got a political party talking about all this shit going on in Mexico. I saw none of that.
That's
like
awesome.
Zero. Art, culture, food,
That's
booze.
cool, man.
Went to a
What was the cost?
tequila. It was like half.
Nice.
So like dinner, ready for this, John? Dinner for 6, hors d'oeuvres, cocktails, $300.
That's actually more than I thought it would be.
$300.
Yeah. When you go to, honestly, Marissa and I go to Poland every once in a while, and I would take her whole family out. We'd go there,
Sure.
right? And like cousins, everything.
Yeah.
There'd be like 12 people. It'd be like a couple $100 a day.
You're like,
dirt cheap.
Oh well, yeah, because they're like
Devalued.
$1 here is $4 over there. So
Really?
God, it's
you
worse.
walk in and you quadruple your paycheck. And
Yeah.
Mexico is 17-1, so
Yeah.
it's 5,000 pesos. I'm like,
Yeah,
oh
right.
shit.
Yeah,
what
the
does this
prices
mean?
look real expensive.
I'm like, this looks like a lot. And then
Yeah,
I'm
that's
like,
142,000
I'm like-
pesos. You're like, oh, shit.
Yeah, then it's a problem.
It's like $17.
I was like,
oh, okay.
what the? I had to ask him, like, is this right? So anyway, it was super affordable. Found cool places to go.
Nice.
And that was the first vacation I've been on in a long time. Number one, and number two, without golf of any kind.
Nice.
And we did
You were on a hill, huh?
on like a mountain,
Really?
but there's no neighbors, so I was kind of like freaked out. But this
You were
place,
like the Gringo on the mountain.
exactly.
Gringo
Big-
on the hill.
Big Gringo on the hill.
I think Elton
That
John
sounds
did a
like
song.
a game.
yeah.
Gringo on the hill.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm pretty sure day 3 they could see my red head
Gringo on the hill.
just with the white hair and the red face on top of there. Like, look at that stupid ass.
What was the water situation like?
Good
so,
call.
dude, I man, all right. So you've heard of Montezuma's Revenge and all
Yeah.
that. And that's real shit.
Yeah,
I
is it
kid
still
you-
revenging you?
Oh, well, I finally. Well, see, instead of Ozempic, I went down there. and
Yeah, right? You don't need Ozempic
just
down
got-
there.
No,
Just
no.
drink
You
a
just
couple
drink a
glasses
couple
of water.
glasses
yeah.
of that every morning.
Yeah,
and I
it does
guarantee.
way better than Ozempic.
Now you might have tetanus or some other kind of malady. You
It'll
get.
definitely reset the entire like floral fauna in your guts for sure.
It definitely
Nice.
killed everything. No, so there was none of that. So we're there, and we take this shit for granted. I mean, especially being here. We're on Lake Michigan, and I taunt people from other parts
Beautiful.
of the country. I'm like, yeah, I don't really care about global warming. I have the water, all the water I
Honestly,
need.
we're
I'm
like,
like,
we're
don't
never
care.
gonna run out of water. Where we
Doesn't
are.
matter.
Yeah.
Tough shit. You live in the desert.
Biggest
I don't
source
care.
of fresh water, and you know,
Right. So I'm like, I'm like looking around, as weird as I am. Like we drive around, and I'm just looking at shit like building stuff, economic development, what happens, what's going on. And I'm looking around, and usually there's a place in the city or somewhere, you can see like the industry part where there's, manufacturing, and none of that shit there. No, I didn't see a water plant, sanitary plant, none of that. So in the house there's like a big jug of water, how they get delivered. And so that's what you're drinking out, plus that bottled water and everything else. And so we have 6 people. I have 3 women, and they're, let's just say that the showers, and anyway, so we're going through a lot of water. So I'm thinking of it, right? I mean, so there's a toilet in one of the 4 bathrooms in this joint that's running, and I don't.
You mean like ringing, right?
Yeah, just the
well, shut up. You have to shake. the
yeah,
handle,
you got to
huh?
shake the handle. So anyway, nobody does that, and so like day 2, we're out of water. I'm like there's
out
no
of
water.
water.
Like your water's out. Like in the States, you get like
What
a
about in the
notice.
toilets? Nothing.
Nothing, zero. So, which is a problem, I can tell you.
Yeah, you sort of need water. Yeah.
Exactly.
Even though you have a nice pimpy pad.
It's nice,
Right.
but still need water. So I'm like, call the goddamn guy up, and what the fuck is happening? See, I told you we shouldn't have come here. So all my fears have been realized because I can't take a dump in peace,
Yeah, right.
and I can't take a shower afterwards. So anyway, call the guy up. He goes, oh yeah. And this is my wife talking to him, and my nephew are talking to him in Spanish. I can't handle a business conversation with this
Right.
guy of why I don't have
Right.
enough water and what the fuck is going on
Right.
here. So the dude's out there. There's some haggling going on back and forth, and I see some heads moving. Blah blah blah. Anyway, the guy Mara comes back in. She's like, "We're not paying for 2 days, 2 whatevers of water." I'm like, "What?
Yeah, we sort of need
What
it.
is going on?" I'm like, well, whatever the price is, we got to have water here. So she's bitching up a storm. We shouldn't have to do this, yada, yada, yada. And then I'm like, well, what does it cost? She's like, it's $80. I'm like, $80 fucking dollars.
For 2 days of water?
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Give the guy the money. So we give the guy the money. He goes, it'll be taken care of in a while. So to me, I'm like, what the fuck does that mean? It'll be taken care of in a while. 6 hours. So
They got to take all the water from the village
I
at
don't
the
know
base
who's-
of the mountain
I don't
Yeah,
know.
right.
to fill your.
I don't know how many people didn't get water that day, but
So what
I
happened?
got $80 worth of water.
The toilet like caused all this problem.
Yeah.
Oh, that
but
sucks.
but in between there, I had gone outside and I had jacked around with one of the hoses because, of course, I am super handy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
What
right.
the fuck? I don't know
Yeah.
anything about anything.
Why?
So exactly, John. Why? Why was I out there? Like I was going to solve some fucking problem. If I knew what the problem was, I'd be like, I don't know. Like I had a set of tools to do anything with. So I had fucked around with one of the anyway. So it all leaks out. And anyway,
you were the cause for
I was
losing?
the cause for the second round of water being lost.
That
Hence the
sucks.
cost of $80 fucking. And so the guy comes up. All right, we'll be there anyway. We go out. We're dicking around in town, buying stuff. Everybody's eating, drinking, having a great time. Get back, and the guy, the water situation was taken care of. Well, how it was taken care of is on the property is basically your own water tower. And that's the only way you get water.
Oh, that's cool.
And you have to buy the water or hope it rains a lot.
Yeah.
One of the two.
That's
it
how my
wasn't
sister-
fucking raining at
That's
all.
awesome.
So when they tell you not to drink the water in Mexico, there's a reason why.
and
It's
don't
not
let the-
coming from the plant. It's coming from some dude's truck.
Get
who
out.
They got the water from I don't know where into the fucking tank
Wow.
for the house. So outside of not having any water and being in the desert and having to ride a horse for 3 hours, it was a nice time.
Good stuff.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, we just had one of our sponsors walk in, and
look
we're
at
recognizing Harold Kouklakis in the studio. Good to see you, Harold.
You too. Thank you.
Welcome to Lockpod.
Harold, how are you, bud?
Good.
This is Matt Reardon. Do you know Matt?
Yeah,
He's also a
good.
sponsor, funny enough. And then,
Yeah, I'm a
Lindsay
sponsor.
and John.
Hey.
Thanks for being a sponsor on Lockpod, and thanks for coming by. And I was wondering what it's like to be the best attorney that we cover on Lockpod.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
did you
tough.
notice Smith's not here?
Yeah.
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 Well, there's a
We brought
reason
you
why.
in on purpose when Kevin wasn't
That's
here.
good,
Because
yeah.
I know it's intimidating for you being the best attorney that we cover on Lockpod.
I know. I don't want to intimidate anybody.
That's
so.
right. So how long you been a lawyer, man?
I got officially licensed in 2021.
Nice.
But I was working for other people since 2018, 2019.
What about where'd you go to law school?
DePaul?
Awesome, man.
Yeah, in the
that's
city.
where that's where Kevin went.
Mhm.
Oh, I didn't know you knew. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
we
awesome.
talked a little bit.
DePaul. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fancy.
So what do you specialize in?
I do a lot of real estate, especially in Illinois. Licensed Indiana, Illinois.
Nice.
Ton
I
of
should
real
know these
estate.
things. I do your commercials every.
A little bit. Yeah,
every
you
show.
sang my name as
That's right.
Ghostbusters.
That's right.
I still have that.
That was
yeah.
early on. Yeah, you should use that one. That was,
Yeah, I'm going to.
yeah. So you went to DePaul, do real estate. Do you do your own closings? I mean, do you buy real estate yourself? I always wondered that.
Yeah, I do a little bit. I do some flipping. I'm new at it, so but I come across deals. I know a lot of agents. So
I imagine, right?
Yeah, I got a rental. So I try to do a little bit here and there, but I'm pretty busy with all the work, so it's I don't have a ton of time.
So
to
tell
focus
us,
on it.
how did the Illinois Attorney Association lobby their General Assembly to make sure lawyers have to be at closings?
They don't have to be at closings.
Oh, not anymore. You
No.
don't have to have a lawyer at a closing in Illinois. Indiana, you don't. Illinois? No.
That's a lot of people think you have to have an attorney.
Hmm.
Realistically, you don't.
Right.
The attorneys do the title work, but the title company can just have their own attorney do the work
Yeah?
if you really want to.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I've done deals all the time where the seller doesn't have an attorney, and I'm the buyer's attorney.
Sure.
Or
You
the
take
buyer
care of
doesn't-
both sides?
No,
Sort of.
I have the other party sign something saying they know I'm not their attorney. 'cause-
Oh, I do that all the time when I used to do
Can't
divorces.
you get them to say that, well, he's here to help both sides?
You could.
We do that in real
You do it
estate.
like Harold was saying. Like you can get in trouble because you can't represent both sides because theoretically they have a conflict. So
Really?
I would let's say I was representing somebody in a divorce and they came to me and it was a real amicable divorce and I would be like, hey, listen, I'm going to represent the wife technically, right? Even though I'm going to try to represent both of you, and then you have the husband say, I realize that.
You're
Attorney
representing the other
McDermott
side.
is representing her, but he's going to do his best to try to represent both of us. And then if you do it that way, right, Harold? So is that what you're saying? You sort of put everybody on notice, but
Yeah, I represent. You can get people to sign informed written consent stating that they're okay with the conflict of interest of representing both people. I don't like doing that. I'd
Right.
rather just say, hey, I'm representing this person.
Right.
I don't represent you.
Okay.
If you want an attorney, I can.
I would
I
always
can
do it.
recommend
Like
that.
I get what you're saying. I would always try to represent both, but I would technically represent one. You know, I'd be
I
like, I
that.
represent Matt, but
I'm
like,
fine with that in brokerage. We call that dual agency, and I like all that because that means I get all the fees.
right.
Nobody else is involved.
Well,
No.
plus it makes it a lot easier, right? If you had two attorneys,
Let me
involved
ask myself what's most amicable.
Yeah, right.
Me making the most money.
Right.
That's not true. That's not. What I do.
Harold, where's
That
your
would
office located?
So I have one in Oak Forest, and I'm opening in Maryville on
Look
the
at
corner
you.
of Taft
Oak
and
Forest,
Third.
huh?
So, yep.
And so, are you like exclusively real estate now, or?
No, I do simple estate planning and also business formation and sales.
Ooh.
A little
Yeah.
bit of personal
Harold,
injury, too.
I need your card before I leave. My nephew has a real estate conundrum
Really?
that he needs dealt with. Yeah,
Nice.
he really does.
No,
I'm
I
not shitting
bet
you.
the things people come to me with are
What
just
is
insane.
what is the typical? I mean, obviously closings is probably a lot of it, right?
Yeah, a lot of closings.
But like, what's the crazy kind of situations you find yourself in? Like,
Yeah, craziest scenario.
So there's some situations where you can't really help the people unless they want to do what you have to do. So there was one in Chicago.
I can't help you.
I can't help you unless you want to help
Help
yourself.
yourself.
Exactly. So it was a probate issue. The mother owned the home. She died. Mm-hmm. Property needed to go to probate. The father.
So what you're saying is they didn't have a will, right? In this case, right?
Even if you have a will,
Okay.
you still have to go to probate.
yeah,
But yeah, they had nothing.
Right.
So the father, who was the ex-husband, he moved in, wouldn't leave. The daughter, so there was two daughters who, you could sell without probate if you do an heirship affidavit, but they would both have to be on the same page. The one daughter wanted to evict the father. Other daughter didn't want to evict the father. And so what do you do in that situation?
Make a will.
Can't do anything. Yeah,
Posthumously.
What'd you do? What happened?
nothing. We couldn't do anything for
Wow.
him until
They had to make a
everybody's on the
decision.
same page. you
Really?
know? Yeah.
So it's still like that?
As far as I know.
Wow.
Dang.
Well,
That sounds like an episode of Shameless,
This
honestly.
dude.
It does sound like an
This,
episode of
no,
Shameless.
my nephew does not have that issue. He's got some property that was given to him, except the title is clouded and there's some kind of scam. Like,
Oh, no.
he believes the property's been sold by this person who had this scam ownership interest, and he got into it with me, and I'm like, dude, you got to call a lawyer. This
Yeah.
is well beyond
Yeah.
real estate. bullshit.
Kouklakis Law.
Call Kouklakis Law, as it turns out. I didn't know if you guys were slip and fall, but
with that
if
ad,
you guys are real estate guys, that's good. I'll hook you up with them. I don't know.
Appreciate it.
I mean, there's like 90 grand-ish worth of value in the thing.
Nice.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, fuck, it's worth looking
man.
into. I
Oh,
mean,
yeah, 90
you
grand.
get 60 G's. The
I mean,
lawyer
I'm not a
gets
big
30.
seller like
I mean-
Matt Reardon, man. Matt Reardon's like,
mean,
shit,
you
I piss
know,
on 90 grand, man.
I mean, most
90
people
grand is
might
not
pass.
worth hiring a lawyer for in my book.
But I was,
Shit.
I could not. I was doing a title search and all that bullshit. I'm like, dude, no. Do you have any paperwork? He's got paperwork of a promissory note that's notarized, and I'm like, I don't know. That seems like evidence to
Hell,
me.
Small firm. I mean, is it a one-man operation pretty much? You and
For now, yeah.
Yeah.
I have a part-time estate planner guy.
So like, okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
But like, you're a young guy, man. That's really cool. Like, I did the same thing. I graduated law school. I was older because I went in the military
He
first.
was
but
ancient.
I was 31-year-old when I graduated
He was
from
that
law school.
dickhead in law school class.
I was the old guy.
27.
Yeah, right.
32.
There's always
Yeah.
one.
Brown versus the Board of Education.
I
and
lived
people
it.
are like, shut
Yeah,
up,
I was
old man.
Yeah, it wasn't like that. It wasn't that old, but I was definitely older than most of them. But and then I got out of law school and I started my own law firm, like right off the bat. Young.
Yeah.
It's intimidating, right?
I mean, it is, but at the same time, it makes the most sense.
Yeah.
I have no kids,
Nice.
no wife.
So there's not a lot of
So
pressure.
I-
like if you
I
have
have
a bad
nothing
month,
to do but go out and
Right.
and get business.
Get
so.
work, do work.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
So like, did you figure it out real quick working for a firm? You're making other people money and you wanted to make
Yeah,
You
your
didn't
so-
want to work 80 hours a week?
No,
Come
no.
on.
I mean, I do now, but
yeah, right? Because
It's
you're
for
working
myself,
yourself.
though.
Right, right.
But no, I mean, so there's kind of two routes you could go. You could do the small firm, work for a solo practitioner. You're not going to make as much money, or you could go big law and they work you like a dog.
Right.
Right.
And if you break it down, you're making minimum wage for the amount of hours. Even though you're making good money. And so
Right.
I can't do either of those.
I hear you, man. I didn't want to do the big firm thing. I worked with a fairly big firm for a while, and I figured it out real quick because I knew when I graduated law school I wanted to run for mayor, and I was like, if I'm working for a big firm, I'm not going to have the freedom to run for mayor, and I knew right off the bat what I was going to do. So
Yeah, I feel bad for my friends that work for big law.
Yeah.
So they get yelled at all the time.
Sure they do.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
awful.
So, but
Yeah,
It's
it
true. Like Lindsay's brother works for a big law firm.
Yeah.
He doesn't get. It's a local big firm. It's Icorn
Pretty
and
sure
Icorn.
he enjoys it there.
He does
not
enjoy it.
get
They're-
yelled at.
by the
Chase
way,
is
like-
a
Well, that's good.
exceptional kid.
Yeah, and he's nice. And like honestly, that it's funny because there's a lawyer shortage in the region where we live. Harold knows what I'm talking about. And but like
What?
with Chase, believe it or not, Matt, ever since they closed Valpo, they're scrambling for lawyers.
Oh,
and,
that's true.
right. So like in our region in particular, like lawyers are in charge, and Chase in his firm, that firm is really focused on like quality of life issues. And I was at the same firm 20 years ago, and they weren't as focused on it. And I'm not trying to be degrading to that firm, right? But like it seems like they've really shifted their focus to keeping people like Chase instead of letting them walk
Oh,
like
for
I
sure.
I
did,
wish
right?
they would do that in education and nursing.
Right. Well, and there's-
Well, first of all, you're women and you should be in the kitchen. But we're going to get to
No.
that.
Yeah,
later.
Yeah, we are going to
We're
get to
we're
that.
going to get to
there's
that
a
later,
reason. There's a
Lindsay.
reason Matt said that.
There's a
so,
reason we're going to get
like
to
before
that.
everybody like comes to
Oh my
the
God! Did
studio.
you hear what Reardon said on
Yeah.
Lockbound?
Harold's like, I was on air during
I don't
that
know
statement.
what that guy
and
said,
I
but
do
I
not
don't know.
condone Matt Reardon's
They're
statement
gonna
about women.
catch me laughing at that. And I'm gonna be canceled.
yeah.
Kevin is listening.
I was laughing
somewhere
in
and
horror.
He's like, no.
So anyway, Harold, we just wanted to bring you in and say thank you because you've been the sponsor for a couple of seasons. We
Yeah.
appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
And so like your firm is, again, could you remind us where it is and what your phone number is and all
Yeah.
that?
So the one in Illinois, 15,000 South Cicero Avenue, Suite 300, Oak Forest.
15th. Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
Over by Cicero.
Yep. Mm-hmm. And
Nice.
then the one in Indiana will be ready probably in a couple weeks.
Nice.
It'll be-
So in Maryville, you said where
Yeah,
at?
2290 West Lincoln Highway. So
Where's that?
Right on the corner of Taft and 30.
Okay.
If you know where Simon Says is
Yeah.
or Nick's Liquors,
Yeah, man.
right
Oh,
on
I
that corner.
freaking love Simon Says.
Yes.
Yeah.
I
Right?
love Nick's
It's
Liquors.
delicious.
Nick's Liquors.
What
isn't
is Simon
bad either.
Says?
It's like a
like
little
a burger.
gyro
It's a
burger.
Oh, yeah?
Greek
Yeah.
burger joint,
Yeah. I've never been
tacos.
there.
I
Yeah.
used to go there
Dogs.
when I worked for county. Oh my god.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I
It's
gotta
so
check this
good.
out.
Which corner now?
Taft.
Taft and 30.
Yeah.
I gotcha.
What's your number
Driven
again,
by
man?
there.
219-671-6347.
Kouklakis Law.
Kouklakis Law. Hey,
Harold.
man, I'll reach out, Harold, about
Sounds
this
good.
ship for my nephew Luca.
Thanks, Harold, for
yeah.
sponsoring Lockpod.
We're
Thanks
calling
for
him
being-
Harold, but his name is Harris, y'all.
What now? Billy, listen, Billy. I need this law stuff done.
Sorry, it's Harris.
It's Harris. Yeah.
Damn, dude, that sucks.
Come on,
It's okay.
McDermott. What the fuck?
I don't know if I should say something.
should.
But
We're
Yeah,
getting
okay.
the
Yeah,
complicated
you
last
should.
name
Yeah.
correct.
I'm
though.
I'm
That's
happy
what
I
I'm
got
saying.
your name right because
Yeah.
you're
People are going to be looking up Harold Kouklakis.
Yeah,
So,
right.
like,
Harris.
Yeah,
Harris.
Harris
Kouklakis.
Harris Kouklakis. By the way, I could not pronounce your name for the longest time. but
Kouklakis.
I got it down now. But thank you, Harris.
Yeah,
We
no
appreciate
problem.
you.
Kevin is
Thanks for
our,
sponsoring Lockpod.
All right, bud.
Yeah.
I'll be in touch
Kouklakis Law.
about Luca and
All
get
right,
that
thanks,
shit
brother.
sorted.
Good to see you,
Yep.
man. I
You too.
All
appreciate
right,
it.
take it easy.
Thanks. All right, we're gonna go ahead and do some ads, and we'll come back. We're gonna talk a little bit about
What are we
Kate
talking
Middleton,
about?
and then we're gonna
Kate
talk some
Middleton.
weed when we get back
Weed,
about an
Middleton,
article.
And what else?
And then Matt, the reason Matt brought up the kitchen is because of Senator Kate Britt, and we're going to talk about her in the third segment. So let's go ahead and do some ads right now. I'll start off with Power in Indiana. Power in Indiana, Lake County, IBW Local 697, and NECA proudly bring you Power in Indiana, Lake County. With over a century of experience, they've been safely wiring the region. From powering corporations along the lakefront to lighting up homes across Lake County, Power in Indiana, Lake County is your trusted source for electrical professionals. Join them as they continue to light the way for Northwest Indiana. Visit Power in Indiana, Lake County at poweringindiana.org.
Byway Brewing. Byway Brewing, a family-friendly microbrewery, welcomes you to their spacious tap rooms and outdoor pub patio. Enjoy award-winning craft beer, chef-driven menu, and craft draft cocktails. Their unique brewing equipment and production facility, a perfect backdrop for your private events, whether it's a bridal shower, reunion, or corporate party. With their new food truck, they can cater to your corporate and private events off-site. Customer service is our top priority at Byway Brewing, just off of I-80 94 at Kennedy Avenue South exit. Discover more at bywaybrewingbeer.com.
All right, Rogers Roofing. When you demand nothing but the best for your home and family, trust the industry leader, Rogers Roofing. For over 54 years, they've been transforming homes in Northwest Indiana and Chicagoland. Their commitment to quality shines through their roofing, siding, gutters, and windows, all backed by the most comprehensive warranties in the business. So visit their website at rogersroofing.com or call 219-933-9145 to schedule your free consultation. That's rogersroofing.com or 219-933-9145. At Rogers Roofing, we expect nothing less than excellence every time.
Misprint Printing. Elevate your brand with Misprint, the premier printing and sign solution in Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana. With a 30-year legacy of excellence, their experienced team, led by Rick Baltonsberger, combines innovation and technology to deliver top-quality signs and printing and metal business cards on time and always within budget. Visit them at misprintusa.com to bring your vision to life today. Misprint, your partner for creating impactful visual solutions.
So, do you know, I think yesterday or day before was Rick's birthday. Happy birthday, Rick.
It was?
Yeah.
Dude, there's a lot of March birthdays. Mine was...
yeah, yours was what?
Monday.
When was
Monday?
your birthday
Monday.
week?
It was,
Yesterday
birthday week.
was Monday. It
Monday,
was
yeah.
Last Monday.
Yeah. Lindsay celebrated it with me. Chase celebrated. Lindsay.
Chase did not.
Chase freaking skipped my birthday.
What?
Yeah. Yeah. He had in-law birthdays to go to. He freaking
I
left me
will
hanging.
admit, it was pretty last minute. We were like, what day is everyone available?
Well, I
And
don't really
nobody
celebrate
could
my
figure it
birthday.
out.
Whatever.
But most of us could make it on the day that we celebrated,
Except for
and that's
my-
what we set it on.
Except for my eldest son, who
Yeah.
skipped his dad's birthday.
That's
Who
pretty
needs
cool
it?
when that
Who
happens.
needs
It's only 55. I mean,
That's a
whatever.
big
I
deal.
could pass away at any freaking
Good.
moment, you know?
Okay.
That's
Especially when
all
you
right.
stay on that
Dad's
Ozempic,
getting in
man.
touch with his mortality.
Hell yeah, man. You turn 55, right, Matt?
I'm 57.
Whoa.
You start getting in touch with your mortality at
It's
50.
fucking sick.
Right? You
I'm not that old.
It's like shit like that comes across your mind
You're
whether you
like,
like to or not. Like,
Yeah, man. That's I don't even. No, I'm not talking about that.
man, last night, John had to cover my council meeting. Do you have to do that? Like, do you guys split that, John?
We do.
Okay.
Yeah, and I just
So it was
drew
your
that
turn last
short
night.
straw. Yeah,
You did.
Yeah.
So last night, Matt, we got into an argument, the council.
It's kind of weird, right?
It was the stupidest goddamn argument I've ever been involved in as mayor.
Okay, because I was like,
That's
what
saying
is-
something.
What's going on?
You've been the
here?
mayor for a while, and a lot
Yeah.
of stupid shit has gone
So
on.
check this out. You know, in the city, when we do road projects, we
Which
get
is super exciting.
yeah, right. But we get millions of dollars from federal government.
Fuck yeah, you do. I'm in the engineering
without,
business.
Without
of course, we
these
know
millions
this.
of dollars, we couldn't do the
No, you cannot.
because
There's
like
no way.
you'll do like Gosselin Avenue. And, you know, Gosselin will cost us $20 million, and like our budget doesn't have an extra $20 million. So the only way to get these projects done is to do matches of 80%, 20%. We come up with the 20%. The feds do the 80%, and we
Right.
could do a complicated project like Gosselin that costs
Sure.
$20 million. But
Right.
without that 80%.
So for people in the world out there wondering how the shit gets paved in front of your house, this is how. Mm-hmm. Right? And if you live in a hillbilly country road, tough shit. It's
Yeah.
not getting paved
Yeah,
anyway.
because
We're talking
unfortunately
about
you don't
city
have the
stuff.
traffic counts
Correct.
there, right?
Right.
So without federal money, we're dead in the water. And
You can't afford it.
right.
Right.
So unfortunately, sometimes from the feds, they give you mandates. Like, you got to do this. You got to think about, you know, hiring women and minority, and, you know.
all that, you know, stuff like environmental stuff.
Well,
Like, who
and even
cares?
stuff like
I'm just
LGBTQ, even stuff like
All
women and
kinds of
minority-owned
rules.
businesses, stuff like, you know, environmental issues. They give you rules. You have to follow our rules, or else you're not going to get our money, right? Like they
True.
did this with even drunk driving back in the day. They used to have states that said you could drive when you're drunk. We're not going to enforce that. And they said, well, if you're not going to enforce it, you're not going to get federal highway money, right? And so you have the right to
speed limits, same thing.
right. So like you make decisions based on the fact you want this federal money, right?
Correct.
So we get this letter from the feds that says, hey, every government that gets federal money has to pass this resolution.
Yeah.
And the resolution it's talking about the goal is to have 0 fatalities on your streets by
Okay.
like 2030 or something like that, right?
Whereas,
Which is, by the way, it's a noble goal. Like, I don't want
Okay.
people to die on Hammond streets, right?
Right.
So, like, I get this. Engineers like, Mayor, we got to pass this through the council or else we won't get federal money. I'm like,
okay.
float it to the council. And he's like, do you want to look at it? I'm like, I trust my engineer. Did you look at it, Dean? He's like, yeah, I looked at it. We have to pass it, like, or else we're not going to get millions of dollars of federal money. I'm like, good enough with me. Put it on the
Right.
council agenda, right? God damn, John. It caused the biggest fight with the city council. They were like all up in arms about this. Like,
So
what? Like, this is, you know, did you read this? And I'm like, no, I didn't read it. I got to pass it. Like, we're not able to negotiate with these people.
No.
They send it to you. They're like, pass this. And I'm like, hey, can I haggle with you, Pete Buttigieg? Could I? I don't like Section 3.
So listen, Pete.
You know,
Did you call him? Hey, Pete, I'm not doing.
we can't pass this. And Pete doesn't give a shit. Pete will
No,
be
he'd be
like,
like,
no problem,
okay,
Mayor.
that's cool.
That
I'll
saves
give it to
us a couple $1 million.
I'll just give it to the next city.
Right?
Which is they will.
I know. So, like, the council is fighting with me. And, like, they're, like, looking at me like I wrote this thing. And I'm like, I didn't write this. And
I think it was Kouklakis Law.
I needed Kouklakis Law last night.
You know, speaking of which, during that whole segment, I was like, why does Reardon hate real estate so much? He seems so suspicious.
He was like, "Oh, they don't have to be present in Illinois."
I don't know.
Really?
Like, how come all the lawyers did this
still
thing?
think lawyers need to be involved in Illinois. I'm not saying
he pissed on that rumor.
I
real
don't
quick.
know, but if I were him, I would have dummied up and said, "You bet we need to. It's important, Matt."
Yeah.
But anyway,
So it went. The vote actually went 6-3. It was still like,
it's a hardship. A hardship
6-3.
to get free money.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, okay, like, what are we gonna say? No, like, are we gonna just say?
I mean,
screw you, feds.
You know, look. Here's what happens sometimes in government. So I don't know who started this rule or how it worked, but in some places you inform, which you kind of should. I mean, not kind of. You should inform the fiduciary, which is the elected body, about some financial responsibilities they might have. Okay, you might have to do this. If this happens, then this might happen. But they still have the full authority to appropriate money and to spend shit. So they're still in control.
Yeah.
Always.
Once the money comes, they're in control of the money.
Always still in
know.
control of the money, how it works, the match, all that bullshit. So a lot of communities are like, I need to take this to the council of XYZ and get their approval to submit a grant. And I'm just telling people out there, if you can avoid this extra step, which is like a month or 2 months in time, then don't do it anymore. Just assume the following, that your department heads are smart enough to understand and not obligate you to have to pay money. And furthermore, they should be pursuing all the grants they can for the specific areas they're in charge of. I mean, what the fuck else are they supposed to be doing?
Yeah.
Go find me federal money. Let's implement this and do it. So Dean rolls that out and says, hey, the federal transportation says you got to pass it. These are the rules you got to follow. If you don't follow them, that's cool. We won't get the money.
It should, honestly, like, I was asked straight up, by one of the council people last night. She's like, Mayor, did you even read this document? And I was like, not really, being honest with you, because my engineer read it, which is his job. I can't really, like, I literally, Matt, on a week in my desk, there'd be 1,000 pages of material that goes through. And if I, like, insisted on in-depth investigation of all 1,000 one of those pages that I'm signing, we would never get anything done in Hammond.
Well, I mean, Hammond's not fucking Mayberry. It's
I know.
a city.
It's like, I don't have time. That's why I have people like the engineer that says, Mayor, I vetted this. It's good. I trust you, Dean, because you're my professional city engineer, and I submit it to the council. And quite frankly, I don't think the council should. This is something we shouldn't trip over. And it was ridiculous, Matt. It makes me want to, like, it's just like, you got to be freaking kidding me. We're fighting over whether or not we want to get hundreds of millions of dollars in the future. Like, it's so stupid, man. But it makes you want to quit when you run into shit like that. It's like small-minded, just stupid, petty little fights. It's like dumb.
And you also want to avoid getting to a point where, like, nothing gets done. Like Congress.
Right, like Congress.
Think about what has Congress done that you can think of other than potentially ban TikTok. That's what's coming out of Congress.
Yeah, that's stupid.
Because that's the problem.
Hey, Lindsay, have you paid
So.
attention to that Kate Middleton situation? Do you follow that at all, Linz?
I don't follow the royal family.
I don't either.
Dude.
Have you seen
There
that?
is- this
Well,
is
but my
sus.
daughter brought it up
my
to me.
online presence, so.
My daughter brought it up to me because we'll just be sitting around BS and she'll throw these conspiracy
It is
things
weird.
at me. And I'm like, what the fuck? What are you talking about?
So this, John, is this about a picture?
Oh,
It
well,
started a
very
little
badly
bit
shocked
before
picture.
Sorry.
Kate
No,
Middleton looks like she's really...
It's been going on for ever since December. The last time we saw her in public, and I said I don't follow this, but I can't avoid it. It's everywhere on TikTok for me. And the last time we saw her was on Christmas, Boxing Day.
But she mentioned that she was going under
She
like
was
the
going
knife,
in
right?
for abdominal surgery around the same time that the new king was going in
Right.
for an emergency surgery as well. And we haven't seen her since. And abdominal surgery is very intensive, but like it's been 3 months now,
Something's
and
not right.
she hasn't been showing up
That
to
is
any
weird, though,
public events. And all of Harry's stuff is, or not Harry, all of Prince William's stuff has been published instead of like the family crest. It's only him.
See, Lindsay doesn't follow this very closely, though.
It's all over my TikTok. I can't help it.
Okay,
and
I
I'm
agree
a
with
sucker for conspiracy theory.
I agree with everything you just said. And then it's further complicated by the fact that William recently, first off, somebody they all know was killed recently. Yeah. And then William came out publicly with makeup all over his face and he had bruises on his face. So like there is like conspiracy galore.
People are losing their minds, and it seems like everything that the palace does to like offset the craziness always makes it worse, no matter what.
Well, if
they
there's
do,
one
it
thing
just
England
keeps
likes more than
compounding.
trying to subjugate people, it's a good conspiracy theory.
They got a good one. But in this case, so Kate Middleton's she's trying to tamp down the conspiracy theories because it's everywhere from she's dead.
Is she really?
She's getting a Brazilian butt lift.
Is she really from England though? Because she looks too good looking to be from England.
From England.
Is she really?
She's really pretty.
I know,
She's
but
proper
she's
and
like
pretty
an English 15.
Yeah, she looks good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because they're
English
not.
15.
I mean, they're not a pretty people over there. I'm
Yeah,
just gonna
and her
say.
teeth are like
Reardon,
perfect.
you're managing to offend an
Probably
entire.
has veneers.
Yeah, well, fuck
all right.
those
That's
guys.
why that's why we bring them
we're-
on.
That's why we're the United
There's
States. of America,
outrage in
John.
England after Lockpod's latest
That's
episode.
right.
Exactly.
Outrage in England.
He
England pissed off
called
at
the
Reardon.
queen or the future queen a 15 on a scale of 1 to 10.
That's
Future
a
queen,
net positive.
See, one of the main conspiracy theories that I buy into is that they're getting a divorce.
See, that's
Dun,
been one of the
dun, dun.
That's one of the conspiracies.
Because in this picture we're going to look at, she's not wearing a wedding ring.
Let me see.
Well, for some
There's
reason,
no
this
hand. She has no
freaking
hand.
article doesn't show the whole picture.
Okay. But so
The
like
article
Hard to get a
about
hold
the
of it
picture,
'cause
John?
AP killed it.
yeah, they pulled it off
Yeah.
because she put out a picture where Lindsay's correct. She was not wearing a wedding ring, which, by the way, is really unusual. You're the freaking
The
future
princess,
queen, right?
Yeah, she's a princess.
You got to wear that wedding
They
ring,
have
princess,
protocols, like,
right?
You need
They're
to
gonna
have
end up
somebody
blaming
who
the
is-
other
Their
chick
whole
for
job
sure
is to make
about
sure
this.
you're wearing that.
You
and-
watch.
But they photoshopped her face and everything. So like she puts out an edited photo, they call it out quickly, and then I don't know. This is a freaking quagmire. This whole thing is just.
It's a
My daughter
PR,
was like,
it's a messy PR.
they've changed the photo because she's that's her
Well, but
profession.
also like her smile apparently pixel for pixel matches like a Vogue shoot she did last
That's
year.
the rumor I heard from Victoria. She's like,
And it was like
it's from a
somebody
Vogue
else
shoot.
did it and they photoshopped her face in.
Where's her hand, John? John's pulling in on it.
Right here.
That's her hand. No ring.
No ring.
Look at that.
Yeah.
That is a dumb move. Like, why would
But
you
also,
do that?
she had abdominal surgery. She's wearing tight jeans. Like, that is not a thing that you would want to do after abdominal surgery.
Because Lindsay, like I remember,
That would
if
be
you get a
very
C-section, for
British
instance,
15 for
which
sure.
is I imagine similar. Marissa's calling me. That tells me she's not listening. Like,
Thanks, honey.
Unless she wants me to shut the hell up. But yeah, when you get abdominal
she
surgery,
works for the queen.
like women that get C-sections, Lindsay, are out for 2 months.
Yeah.
Right. So like if you're getting abdominal surgery, it's probably even more intensive than a C-section, right?
But also, like, they never told us why she's getting abdominal surgery. Like, is it for cancer
Right. It
removal?
seems like it would be
Did she have a hysterectomy? Like, what's going? There's a lot.
that
going
seems
on
like
in that
it would
area.
be.
So,
It seems like that's the direction they'd probably want to do that
and
for,
I
right?
think that they didn't want to reveal that she had cancer or something.
And the king
when
both. Wow.
The king was going for cancer surgery. So
I gotcha.
I think they
Maybe
didn't
it's
wanna
all that
freak people
inbreeding
out.
they've been doing over there.
But
Wow.
she's young.
Really?
You know,
You
if
think
it was
that's
She's not-
cancer, she's
John?
She's a commoner, man.
John, you think that's
no,
it?
she's not. She's related to. A
I
couple
think there's
dudes and
inbreeding
stuff.
Really?
has something to do with it.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go ahead
it's
and
like when
say
you
it.
have a puppy and you start inbreeding, after a while,
We
one of your puppies
outlaw
comes out
puppy
with 3
mills.
eyes,
Right.
right?
Well,
We
but
outlaw
she
puppy
is
mills.
like she's not like from a royal line. She's
Really?
just distantly related to some people who are higher up. She had a very prominent.
They're going to
wealthy
blame the other
family.
lady for this.
But like her teeth are
I'm
so
telling
straight,
you.
I think there's some American breeding going on.
Oh,
over
no,
there.
Sure.
those are veneers, Dad.
Are they? Okay.
Again, British 15 for sure.
I agree.
So here's the latest, though, right? So this photo she drops after being out of the public eye for months
Where she's not wearing a wedding ring.
turns out to be photoshopped like to the max, to the point where they drop a press release from Kate Middleton saying, "I'm an amateur Photoshop. I play around with Photoshop." You really think Kate Middleton's
No.
playing around with Photoshop?
No.
There's 0% chance that that's true.
I agree.
This has been this is so suspect, man.
Are they
Something-
saying her
Well-
hand is in a weird place too?
Well,
the
no,
girl's
there's-
hand?
Okay.
The girl's hand is clearly. If we had a better
also,
picture
if we
here, it's
zoomed in,
Photoshop.
they have a picture of it, but there's like some disconnect between like the edges of her sweater and stuff that people.
Yes.
These people on the internet,
Yeah.
man, they'll take everything to the extreme. But my theory or my thought process is that when the queen died, and who is it, Charles took over.
Mm-hmm.
That
Yes.
he replaced their PR firm or something, and these guys are messing up royally 100%.
I like
of the
that messing
time.
up royally.
That's the name of the firm.
Constantly.
Good job.
Like,
that could be. That's in
thank
running
you.
for the
Messing
show
up
title.
royally.
Messing up royally.
But like constantly, it seems like they cannot get out from under that black cloud that like
Why don't they
something
just say
suspicious is
to the
happening.
media, mind your own fucking business? How's that sound?
Because they live the life of luxury paid for
have
with taxpayer
protocols.
money.
So they have to
answer
do
the
it?
So they're
public.
literally like servants of the people.
Why don't
Literally
they just
like,
say, I'm not answering that. Next
just
question.
keep sending me your money. I'm not
Just
doing
send me
shit
your-
though.
I'm not
I'm going to
doing
go on
shit.
vacation.
You can come on tours around here. We don't give a shit. Go ahead. But I'm not
Well,
answering your questions about that.
We have a new season of The Crown from this. Think about it that way.
Correct.
They're not.
Well,
yeah.
they're not going to come
Yeah.
out with this until like 10 years from
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
But
I'm
that
telling
season's
you,
going to
they're
be
gonna blame the other
fantastic.
chick. The
What's
other
that?
girl.
What's that?
They're going to blame the other girl.
What other
Yeah,
girl?
right.
The other
Meghan
princess,
Markle. Meghan Markle.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
blaming her.
I love
Well-
They're
Meghan.
going to be like, fucking
So,
Americans.
okay,
See?
I
We
didn't
let them in.
realize-
Look what happens.
I did
Look,
not realize.
we told you. We told you. And she's a minority, goddammit.
right.
We told you.
Exactly. She's the whitest minority.
Well, I didn't realize that I actually knew so much about the royal family.
Yeah, I was about to
It's
say,
coming
you-
back to me. But there
Yeah, I
have been
don't
rumors,
like the royals.
There have been rumors for a while that Prince William has been cheating with some woman named Rose, which is like a friend of hers.
Lindsay knows this whole
Oh,
goddamn story.
I don't
Like,
know much
Sorry,
about it.
I was.
I don't know
She
much about it.
literally
There's a
said-
little-
When I was
yeah.
growing up, it just compounded into something.
So you
else.
think they're getting divorced? That's what you're
I
going.
think they're getting a divorce because a lot of very popular and very positive spun stories are coming out about the woman that he
About
allegedly has
Rose?
been cheating
That's
with.
Lindsay?
Her name is Rose.
All right, you heard it here on Lockpod. We've concluded with conclusiveness.
Prince William is cheating
We
with a
concluded
woman
with
named
conclu-
Rose, and
Yep.
they're getting a divorce.
Yep, you heard it here on
Wow.
Lockpod. Lockpod does predict the future. We're much like The Simpsons in that regard. So.
This is
I'm
true.
claiming this one though. If
Okay.
it comes true, y'all gotta throw me a party.
So what do you think that divorce looks like? How does
so
that
like
get split
Princess
up?
Di and
Yeah, you guys
Prince-
saw it in the
Ooh.
90s.
Yeah,
That's
we
true.
did see it. Hey,
Terrible.
I want to
This
move on.
is Rose? She's all
Let me see it.
tatted up. Oh,
Let me
wait,
see
are
it.
those tattoos?
No, that's a
No,
dress.
that's just her
Let me see her.
shawl.
She's pretty.
She's tattooed.
I mean, if you're gonna be screwing a prince, you got to be attractive. I
I
imagine, right?
don't. You know.
It-
does that
apparently,
count
it's a
in England?
mutual friend of theirs.
Oh,
There's nothing
man.
worse. I've never seen mutual friends get mixed up. in
No,
affairs
that never
before.
happens.
This
Ever.
is Rose.
She's beautiful.
Let's see.
Maybe.
She looks like a queen.
Uh-huh.
The scandal.
We have
She's gonna be
another
like Camilla.
on our
She's gonna be like
hands.
Camilla.
Uh-huh.
Wow.
All right,
By the way,
we're,
hate
mo-
that woman.
we're moving on to the
God
next.
rest the queen.
We got to talk about weed. It wouldn't be a Lockpod episode if we didn't talk
Well,
about
we gotta
weed.
do ads still.
Oh yeah.
No, weed, then ads, and then we're coming back with Senator Britt. So you want to do ads real quick? That's
Yes.
fine.
Let's do
Okay,
it.
then we'll
We
do
have to.
weed and Katie Britt. So I'll go ahead and start. Calumet Brewing. Time to experience Michelob Ultra with only 95 calories, 2.6 carbs, and 4.2 ABV. The perfect way to start 2024 and keep those resolutions in check. Doesn't matter if you're kicking back after a workout, hitting a pickup game at the park, or heading out for a day on the slopes. Be sure to enjoy a superior light beer that's only worth it if you enjoy it. Michelob Ultra is brewed to be a complement to your healthy lifestyle. Head over to Cal Brew or Michelob Ultra websites and social media pages for details on this great family of beers. Enjoy the Ultra lifestyle with beers and cheers responsibly.
Prestmer Insurance Co. For decades, the Ron J. Prestmer Insurance Agency has been your trusted neighbor right on Indianapolis Boulevard, serving all your insurance needs. Their wide range of insurance products and services, including auto, home, business, and life insurance, has helped over 1,000 individuals and businesses throughout the Chicagoland and Midwest. Call Ron or Ronnie today at 219-844-0103. They're here to protect what matters most to you.
Tortillas Nuevo Leon. Tortilla Nuevo Leon sets the gold standard in Mexican cuisine across the Midwest. Look for our iconic red and white label at your local grocery store and indulge in the finest Mexican products crafted with local expertise and savor the taste of authenticity. Discover the flavors of Tortillas Nuevo Leon today.
Nice.
Tortillas Nuevo León, hechas con amor, para ti y tu familia de todo corazón. Tortillas Nuevo León, hechas con amor, para ti y tu familia, de todo corazón.
Yeah.
Good job, Lance. MCR Partners. Of course, we're reading it with Matt in studio.
Damn right we are.
Matt would be like, I ain't paying. If
Be
you
like,
ain't
what?
reading.
I'm stopping payment right now.
Yeah. Are you seeking expertise? I'm doing air quotes for
We
that.
should
In
have
economic
Matt read
development.
it, though.
Would you read
Read
it?
my own shit.
He wrote it, so
He's like, I pay for you guys to
I
read
pay
it.
for you to read it. Read it, Mayor.
All right. Are you
Chop, chop.
Are you seeking expertise in economic development, finance, planning, If so, look no further than MCR Partners, your go-to professionals for comprehensive solutions. Their dedicated team is ready to assess your opportunities and ensure the successful completion of your projects. Discover the difference MCR Partners can make in navigating the intricacies of economic development. Stay informed and connected by visiting our website, mcrpartnersllc.com. For personalized assistance, reach out to Matt at 219-741-9511.
This man said successful.
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 That's right. Hey, we're going to bounce the weed story until the next show because that's a story in itself.
That's a story in itself.
And Katie Britt.
Big tax dollars.
Yeah.
Indiana just, again, fumbles the bag.
That's right.
And literally.
It's like they don't want money.
$600 million that Michigan made last year, and we don't want that. But we'll cover that next show.
God forbid we protect our youth from fentanyl overdose.
Honestly, like they should, but that next show we'll get into a little bit
You
more.
got to talk about that.
But
big money.
Katie Britt, the response to the State of the Union, we covered the State of the Union in the last show, and we didn't talk about this because it's a whole separate subject in itself.
She's the scariest mom ever.
Yeah, she's like a 42-year-old U.S. senator, which is she's the youngest U.S. senator. She's Republican.
That's a big deal.
She's from
What's
Alabama.
The role? 38?
I don't remember her running.
Is it? It is 38, isn't it?
I think so.
I didn't even think about that. She literally had to think of.
Yeah, I mean, I think it is.
Because 38 back in the day was
I would have thought that
real.
would have made news, but I have never really heard much about her.
Yeah, 42-year-old first-term U.S.
She
senator.
must have run pretty low.
What should have been news
or
is
What
should have been news is woman from Alabama graduates from college with all
right.
teeth.
Oh my God.
Now that would have been news.
Alabama viewership drops dramatically after. Yeah, no, but so in this case, they do the response to the State of the Union, right? And in the response, not only is she drippy acting the whole time, she's literally like over the top acting. Like Lindsay as an actress is
This
probably
was the
Lindsay,
best
you
day of
are
her
an
life.
actress.
Thank you.
yeah.
Right?
Maybe.
What's your take on this?
I thought she was the scariest mother in the world.
Okay,
I
and
would not want to be her child.
Like Joan
never seen-
Crawford,
they do it in the
wire
kitchen.
hangers, scary.
No wire hangers.
But
Right.
she's like in the kitchen giving this response after the entire country is watching it, and the Republican Party is like, let's put her in the kitchen.
Hey,
I'm just going to
it's
give
the
a tip
cleanest
out
room in her
there
house.
to
She's got
anybody
children.
in the GOP that's listening.
Yeah.
Most women probably didn't like the fact that you took the youngest female senator and thought the best spot to put her was in the fucking kitchen.
That was pretty dumb.
I didn't even
Like,
realize
how
she
do
was
you
in the
even
kitchen.
conjure
Yeah.
that up? Like, you're sitting around and there's like 8 dudes in a room going, what should we do here? How can we make her good? I got an idea. Put her in the fucking kitchen.
Right.
Yeah, that's a good idea. They'll love that.
It's true, man. It was a conscious
well,
decision.
She's a mother, and
Right? Do you think she's the kind
I
that
think
cooks
her
dinner
house
every
is
night?
probably not suitable for like taking footage. And
Do you think that's
the
her
kitchen
house?
was the cleanest.
I think it's her house.
Yeah.
But I
would
think
it's her house.
I
She had people
guarantee
show
you-
up, and that's what she had prepared.
She's in Washington D.C. five nights a week. Like, and Matt could speak conclusively
Yeah.
with that because Mike's wife works in Washington D.C. And I imagine it's not very often that she's in that kitchen cooking dinner. And what they're trying to insinuate to the American public is, I'm just a
You're
normal
giving them
housewife.
too much credit. I really think that this was a lack of thought and not an overabundance of thought.
I think it was a lot of thought put into it, and they wanted to
they
come
wanted
across.
to put a woman
Yes.
in the kitchen.
No, they wanted
on
to come
purpose?
across like they wanted GOP women to see her and
don't-
say, she's like me.
You are
I
way
cook.
overestimating these
Lindsay,
guys.
you're way underestimating. This is presidential politics we're talking about. This is presidential politics. Everything in that entire shot was thought about. That
think
plant,
about-
everything.
So think about this. So they have, like, let's say Senator whatever, douchebag Cruz from Texas. Let's use him.
Uh-huh.
So do they do like a response or Ted Cruz comment? Does he in his garage fucking about, like doing man? I'm doing man shit out here.
I'm out here with my greasy
I'm out
hands."
here with my greasy hands, taking a look under the hood, doing man shit while he's talking
Doing
about
man shit.
talking about the response to the State of the Union. What the fuck kind of clownery was this? Seriously. And for those professional women out there, God forbid you guys get out of the kitchen. I mean it. So I just want you all, after this lock pod, to really do some soul searching and think why it is you're out of the kitchen.
Well, let's
and
watch
where
a
you
couple
need
of
to
these
go.
clips.
'Cause
And,
I'm
But
a
listen
woman
to
in
her.
STEM.
all right.
Yeah,
Here,
let me
let me
play
get STEM.
just 12 seconds
Okay.
of this about Biden's border policy.
Okay.
President Biden's border policies are a disgrace. This crisis is despicable. And the truth is, it is almost entirely preventable.
Oh my God.
Why did she say that like it was a tongue twister?
Yeah.
President Biden's border policy is despicable.
Peter packed a pipe of pickled peppers.
Exactly. That's what I thought when I heard
Peter
her
packed a
talking.
pipe of pickled peppers.
All right. Here's another one about Biden and China and TikTok. Here we go.
Meanwhile, the Chinese Communist Party is undercutting.
By the way, it sounds like she's crying.
She's
right
about to
there.
start crying.
Yeah, here we go.
Meanwhile, the Chinese Communist Party is undercutting America's workers. China is buying up our farmland, spying on our military installations, and spreading propaganda through the likes of TikTok.
Oh my God.
You see, the CCP knows that if it conquers the minds of our next generation, it conquers America.
I can't. I can't. I actually
That
have to
chick.
stop
I haven't
that.
She
seen
ruined
a
her
single
career.
thing
I
about
thought
the
it was fake.
Yeah.
Like I thought that was like
AI generated.
Like, why is she? First, I was like, "What did she go to the fucking dentist this morning? Why is she
I don't
talking
know.
like that?"
got
Then
iced
it looked. Then it had the like Burbank, California softcore porn feel, like it was going to start.
Like
And
a
then
plumber is gonna walk
like-
in?
Yeah, like the dude's going to come in. Yeah, ma'am, I'm here to fix your pipes. Bow,
It's a
chicka, bow,
delivery.
bow,
Well, you brought up a good
bow.
point, Matt, because let me play this next clip. This is her natural voice compared to her State of the Union address
okay.
voice. Okay.
I am looking forward to delivering.
This is her natural voice, all right?
I am looking forward to delivering the Republican response to the State of the Union. So tune in.
President Biden's border
Oh my God.
policies are a disgrace.
They should have kicked the plug out
This crisis is despicable.
and like literally had.
and the
that.
truth is, it is almost entirely preventable.
They
And thank you
ruined,
to
She
all.
looks different.
she ruined her career. She literally like ruined her career with one appearance. They like took the youngest person in their party and they made a mockery of her. Like the entire country is lampooning this. I'm sure
It's
she's super
bad.
talented. They like
I'm sure she is.
they ruined her
Probably
career.
gave her very specific directions.
Right.
And she tried real hard to follow them, but
Lindsay,
it was
you know
not
what's
the
funny?
right choice.
You're saying this, and it's funny. Okay, I had a big break happen to me early in my career, and I totally fucked it up. Okay, I'll never forget this. This was I was told to open it was the state convention at the time. There's like 1,000 people in the
Sure.
audience. They gave me a speaking spot at it, and it was
Okay.
during Rudy Clay's chairmanship. Rudy and I were going back and forth at this time, right?
Absolutely.
So I was told this party wanted me to give a speaking slot, and they wanted me. It was after Rudy Clay passed away, and they
Okay.
wanted me to basically summarize his career, which is not an easy thing to do and I don't know Rudy like that, right?
Right.
Ted's like, I've been fighting with this guy for
I've been
years.
fighting with them, and then
Right.
I go up to summarize his career, right? And I botched it, man,
Oh.
in front of a whole audience. But it was a very specific thing, like Lindsay said. They gave me very specific instructions, and I wasn't comfortable. Like,
Right.
like I felt like a fraud. Like I shouldn't be the one doing this. I fight
Yeah.
with this guy, and it was a disaster for me at the time. And I don't know if it set me back, but I think Lindsay's right that they told her, we want you to be drippy, like we want you to be
Oh my
like
God, it was
over the
terrible.
top.
Aggressive,
Yeah, like we want you to like be emotional, like
We want
act
you
like
to
you're
be
gonna cry.
clutch your pearls kind of
God,
woman,
dude,
you know?
they ruined her. Like she's a 42-year-old young
Terrible.
U.S. senator, and they ruined her career.
You know, the other thing, like her comments, and it's interesting when she was talking. There's this very specific story being told about China by all GOP. Now, these dumbasses in the Indiana General Assembly did the same thing, and I
TikTok?
mean dumbasses about China. So they passed this bill about same shit she just said. About farmland in China,
Right.
and it's the same bullshit story. In the meantime, the Indiana General Assembly fucked up $4 billion worth of investment in Indiana because of the GOP and this bullshit this lady was talking about.
Yeah.
Same shit, same narrative. So they managed, like you said, Lindsay, they gave her a script and said, you
Yeah,
have to do all
agree.
these things.
Yeah.
I
But
agree.
at what
You
point
gotta
in
let people
fucking
be
time?
people.
I mean, how about this, guys? How about this? Have her start in the fucking kitchen and then walk out somewhere in the living room and have this be a little more interactive, like a real fucking person.
Yeah.
I mean, so you cornered the 20% of the kept women who live wherever the fuck they live that like that. That's not going to
And
get
they were voting that way
They
anyway.
were going to vote for that anyway.
Right, exactly.
I mean,
Yeah.
anyway.
What you did was
so what did you
alienated-
do?
Right.
Well, how did you generate any other kind of from anywhere else? Why?
Agree.
How about not having her at all? Like Vivek, in my opinion, would have been an amazing
Let
choice.
that cat run his
Vivek,
mouth.
huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, was
He's
that
an
who-
incredible
That's who they
speaker.
passed. That's who they passed up.
I'm just. They
But
passed up on everyone.
But
you know.
Vivek's a nobody. She's a U.S. senator. I
don't think so. I mean, Vivek's still out there
But he's
on
not.
Trump's stops and
Okay.
introducing
He's out there.
him. And
He's out there. With
But like,
head
I
of
think
Trump's
the
ass
response to the
still.
State of the Union should come from a sitting member of Congress.
not her. Good.
I agree with you.
God.
I agree with you. But like,
I think they kind of set her. That's terrible.
They messed her
Well,
up,
I
man.
really,
Yeah.
I don't think that was her. Honestly,
I agree with you,
based on
Lance.
the before and after, I would have been interested to hear the points of the before lady, but the after
Right.
lady,
I agree
she
with you.
seemed.
I agree with you.
Let me play you one more.
Like herself, sure.
This
I mean,
is,
if you're going to get a crackpot on there, get Marsha Blackburn. I mean, she's already fucking nuts anyhow.
All right, what do you got,
here's
John?
one more before and after.
And thank you to all the gentlemen behind me who continue to work diligently to actually secure our border. That's what the American people deserve. But unfortunately, Joe Biden refuses to give that to them.
Mr. President,
It's like it's
Right.
so.
enough is enough.
They
She's
totally
like-
changed her.
They completely got
They
in her
told
head.
her to go
Yeah.
against everything that she
Yeah,
is.
they got in her
like,
head.
What makes her appealing?
You're right, man.
Man, I tell you what, if I'm running a campaign against that lady, I'm just showing that.
Yeah, for
Be
sure.
like, here's
She's done.
this. What is this?
Dude, I tell you, when people, you get as an elected official, when you're running, like when I was running for Senate, I would have people constantly, like so many disparate people with so many disparate opinions,
Yep.
talk constantly in my ear. Like when I would walk into the debate, you literally have 25 different people,
You're
like with 25 different warnings for you not
Yeah.
to mess up. So you get in front of the cameras and you're so afraid because so many people have freaked you out. You don't know what the hell to say.
And you know what?
get
Look,
lost.
if you can't ball up and do this shit, and you can't just read it, then you shouldn't be reading it. I mean,
she is
listen,
obviously smart as hell. Like, let her be
you-
herself,
You
right?
don't get there, and like
She
I
won a
said,
US Senate
either
race.
you find somebody who's confident enough, that's big enough for the fucking moment to be able to talk about
Right.
it, that is actually it believes what they're saying, like believes it.
Yeah,
To be able
like
to
the one
read
on
it.
top, like the first one
Right.
you played. She
Like,
knows
she
what the fuck
could
she's talking
probably
about.
say that.
But the
Now-
one on the bottom, the one at the State of the Union
Now-
response, is like
I would
confused.
ask both those women, why the fuck didn't you pass the border bill?
Good point. Good point.
So why didn't you
Right.
do that? I don't know, but keep
But
blaming Joe
she
Biden.
did in the Senate. They did in her defense. The Senate passed it. The House killed it.
Correct.
Right.
She
but
didn't
her
vote
party,
for it.
Her party. Oh, really? I didn't know that.
No,
Okay.
she didn't.
Okay.
Actually, she was one of the people
Interesting.
that was fucking negotiating
Right.
it and then didn't fucking vote for
Right.
it. Go
That's
figure
crazy.
that out.
Right.
Well, when Trump makes a phone call, you answer.
All
To
right,
some
guys.
people.
We should probably start wrapping. It's we getting to that point, but and we still have one story to start the next show with about the cannabis industry in Southwest Michigan. So we're going to start that one in the next show. So I'll leave
So
that
how
one for
close-
when
Sorry,
Kevin gets back.
Reardon, you're gonna miss it.
How
Yeah.
I'm going to miss the weed stories?
Yeah.
Well, the story is this, briefly. We continued not to exercise the ability to capitalize on an industry that has been voted on in blue states and red states, an industry that has been reviewed, an industry that has been a drug that has been maligned for decades. I think generally because at the time people didn't like hippies. There's a reason for that. They're stinky, but nonetheless,
I grew up with them stinky hippies.
but I mean, it's like it's dumb.
So
I mean,
next
how's
show.
that? How's that?
So
for
that's a
articulating?
preview of
It's
our
dumb.
first segment for the next show. So Matt Reardon,
Thanks,
MCR
man.
Partners. What's the
MCR
number?
Partners.
What's the number again?
You can call me 219-741-9511. We're located at 5920 Homan Avenue in Hammond.
At the Merge Building.
Yep, we're in the merge. We got the urge to
Thank
merge,
you.
and HWC's at 2910.
We got the urge to merge.
We got the urge to merge. 2910 by Westland's office. We're
Awesome.
HWC's below
Carlson
there.
Drive.
Carlson Drive, right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Thanks, Matt.
All right, man.
Good.
Catch
Thanks
you
for
next
filling
time.
in for Kevin.
Yep.
We appreciate
We'll see you, bud.
All right. And Lindsay, I love you. Great.
Thanks, Lindsay.
Great.
Thank you.
Congratulations shortly on your upcoming
Okay,
graduation.
let me get to the graduation first before you congratulate
Okay.
me, please.
You better graduate. So, and Jay Vaz, awesome. Thanks for
Thanks,
pre-showing
John.
with us
Tell your
last night.
fucking guy not to park in Tom's spot anymore.
Dude, no
What
kidding.
is that?
So, and thanks everybody.
Seriously.
Thanks everybody for listening to Lockpod Season 11, Episode 19. An episode without
Kevin.
the compass, but we still managed to
I
pull it
tried
off.
my
So,
best.
yeah. Thanks everybody for listening. Lockpod is out. We'll see you on Friday.